In the final months of World War II, as Japan's empire crumbled and defeat drew near, a new weapon was born in desperation. They called it Kaiten, the turning of heaven. To the outside world, it was a secret. To the men who entered them, it was a steel coffin. These were not machines guided by remote control. They were guided by human hands, human hearts, and human fear. Each launch meant certain death. This is the story of Japan's human torpedoes, the Kaiten pilots, and the haunting missions they were never meant to survive. By 1944, Japan's naval power was fading fast. The once mighty Imperial Navy had been shattered at Midway, and American submarines prowled the Pacific unchecked. Two naval officers, Lieutenant Seikyo Nishina and Lieutenant Hiroshi Kuroki, proposed a radical weapon, a torpedo piloted by a man. It could think, steer, and strike with precision, a weapon that felt no fear of death. Headquarters approved the idea. Factories were cleared. A new kind of warrior was about to be born. The Imperial Navy called for volunteers, men willing to die for their country. Hundreds came forward. Some were idealists. Others were pressured by commanders, by culture, by fear of shame. In training camps on remote islands, they studied navigation, discipline, and death. Their commanders told them, "Your body is the weapon. Your death is your victory." One cadet wrote in his journal, "I wish I could see the sea once more, not as a soldier, but as a man." Inside the Kaiten, there was no space to stand, no air to spare. The pilot lay face down, gripping two control handles ahead of him, a periscope, a compass, and a timer counting down to impact. Once launched, the hatch sealed shut. There was no return. Even if a pilot changed his mind, there was no way out. The torpedo would run until it struck or sank. November 20th, 1944. The submarine I-36 departed Japan with 6 Kaiten aboard. Their target, the American fleet at Leyte Atoll. Hours later, one of them struck the USS Mississinewa, a massive fuel ship. The explosion was catastrophic. 63 American sailors perished. In Tokyo, newspapers called it a triumph. The Kaiten had proven itself. But the truth was darker. None of the pilots returned. Their names were announced only in whispers as heroes who became the sea. After Leyte, the Kaiten program expanded rapidly. Over 100 submarines were modified to carry them. Bases were built on islands like Atsushima and Hikari. The Empire hoped these heaven shakers could slow the inevitable, but the oceans were merciless. American radar, depth charges, and relentless patrols destroyed most missions before they began. Many Kaitens never even left their mother submarines. They went down together, trapped inside their metal shells. Some of the letters survived. "Mother," one wrote, "when you read this, I will already be gone. Do not cry for me. I die as a man of the sea." Another confessed, "I do not wish to die, but if my death protects our homeland, then I accept it." Their words reveal not fanaticism, but fear, duty, and youth. Many were barely 20 years old. They dreamed not of glory, but of home. By mid-1945, most Kaiten missions had failed. Some torpedoes malfunctioned. Others missed their targets entirely. And some submarines like I-44 and I-363 were sunk before launch, taking every man to the bottom. The Empire censored the losses. Only the victories were spoken aloud. In secret, families received small wooden boxes containing only seawater. In August 1945, the unthinkable happened. 2 cities vanished in nuclear fire. Japan surrendered. The Kaiten program ended overnight. Of the hundreds who trained, only a handful survived: instructors, engineers, and men whose missions were canceled. They returned to a nation in ruins. Their comrades remained beneath the waves, forgotten by history. Today, the rusted remains of Kaiten torpedoes rest quietly on the ocean floor. Coral has claimed them. Fish swim through the hollow shells where men once sat waiting for death. Memorials now stand on remote islands, stone tablets inscribed with names few remember. The Kaiten were born of desperation, of pride, and of fear. They achieved little militarily, but their story endures as a warning of what happens when loyalty outweighs life itself. They were not heroes. They were not villains. They were young men and the ocean was their grave. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to uncover more forgotten stories from the shadows of history, subscribe and join us again.